Here's the starting lineup for the Raiders. Starting goalkeeper, Tom Gallagher. Wearing number 2, forward, Panos Panitas. Defender number 8, Justin Matthew. Wearing number 10, defender, Matt Hitson. Number 11, midfielder, Lenny Checchio. Midfielder number 12, Chris Sargent. Wearing number 15, defender, Lee Fassett. Number 18, defender, Chris Dambley. Wearing number 20, midfielder, John Hood. Starting forward, number 21, Keith Shilcock Elliott. Midfielder, number 22, Rodrigo Nogales. The Raiders of Radnor High School. And now let's meet the starting lineup for Lewisburg. Head coach Pete Ellis, assistants Justin Dively and Larry Barnhart. Here's the starting lineup for the Green Dragons. Starting goalkeeper, Patrick Donegan. Defender number 2, Kyle Fisher. Wearing number 5 on defense, Luke Ziegler. Midfielder number 10, Connor Lushkin. Wearing number 11, defender, Patrick Brain. Midfielder number 15, Ted Grimm. Midfielder number 16, Alex Permiaskin. Wearing number 18, midfielder, Jeff Riggle. Defender number 19, Michael Crone. Wearing number 21, forward, Brent Ziegler. And wearing number 33, forward, Jeremy Hallam. The Green Dragons of Lewisburg. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as we honor the United States of America. Salute its leaders and members of the armed forces who are playing the Star Spangled Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Good evening, soccer fans. Welcome to Hershey Park Stadium in Hershey, Pennsylvania. The state AA semifinals for Pennsylvania about to get underway between unbeaten and once tied Lewisburg, the District 4 champion. They're in the all-white kit tonight, 23-0-1 coming in against the Radnor Raiders right there in front of you on the screen. The Raiders coming out of District 1 as the number 1 seed, the only seed out of District 1. They are 13-8-3 on the season. And first time that the Raiders have been here in a few years. And before we get into that, I want to take this opportunity. What a pleasure it is tonight to have alongside me my longtime friend and colleague, former Radnor High School coach, FC Delco founder, just all-around soccer guy, Sam Holt. Welcome, Sam.
Nice to be here. Third time in Radnor history that 3 teams have gotten to this particular game. One got through in 1980 and one didn't, and they're on the edge of history right now, Radnor.
Well, I remember the team getting to the state semifinal and eventually to the state final in 1980. I don't remember the second team you're mentioning.
I believe Alan Metzger's team.
I don't think they got to the
quarterfinal.
They lost in the quarterfinal, I believe, Sam.
Well, this is only the second time, so
we are underway as Radnor are in the red and black, moving right to left with the opening tap. Keith Shilcock Elliott tried a shot off the opening tap. He has not done so well in 2004 with that little stunt. He hit 2 bombs last year as a junior from midfield and beyond, 1 off the opening tap, but didn't get anything on that one. The Lewisburg Green Dragons, they are known as.
23-0-1. They have a little bit of a pedigree in the sense that they won a state championship at Single A in 2000. And although they may not play in a district with the depth of teams that are in District 1, 23-0-1 and 3 goals allowed is incredible statistics. A big-time goalkeeper, like the high pressure in their defensive end, and they look for Olivetti and Ziegler to score goals and win games for them.
Sam is talking, of course, about Nick Olivetti, the sophomore forward for the Green Dragons with 22 goals and 11 assists this season. He is the leading scorer. Right behind him, senior Bryn Ziegler, and I don't know what his numbers for the season were, but he did surpass and attain the career scoring leadership for the Green Dragons sometime during this season. So should be interesting. I mean, it's sort of like they're calling them the magicians of the main line this year from Radnor, who did not have a particularly strong regular season. They really got it going in districts and, of course, here in the states, and up against an unbeaten, once-tied team. they have been in that position before. In 2000, they beat unbeaten, untied Lansdale Catholic for the district championship back in the Philadelphia area. But we'll see how they go here now. Since last time I was here, Sam, an artificial surface has been laid down at Hershey Park Arena, and that may favor Radnor because they have one right in their very own campus.
Yeah, Lewisburg likes to double and sometimes triple team high pressure attackers in their defensive end, and this field is more than 120 by 80, and it's really going to make it difficult as long as Radnor can keep width to be double and triple teamed. And right there off the bat you see Radnor finding that width that'll probably be necessary today.
Rodrigo Nogales serves it inside looking for Keith Shilcock-Elliott. You could tell that the Green Dragons have read about him. He was double teamed 50 yards away from the ball, and they're going to keep an eye on him. The coach, I was talking to him before the game. They were laughing. They said, "What's his nickname, the Bull?" And I said, "No, it's actually Beef." But he said, "Well, funny how rumors get started."
There's really no secrets anymore with the internet. It's so easy to find out about different teams at this point in time. Radnor is a team of 2 seasons. Didn't probably you'd have to say they underachieved for a veteran team in a unusual strong Central League this year, but. Kyle Shilcock-Elliott made some changes that we can talk about during the game, and about a month ago the team settled in and has won, I think, 10 out of their last 12, I believe.
Something like that. Yeah, they had two hiccups right at the end of the season against Sun Valley and Pencrest, but other than that they have gone unbeaten. And prior to giving up 2 goals against Elko the other night, Radnor had come through districts and states allowing only 1 goal in high-level competition. Here is Lewisburg sending it into the box. Lee Bissett, the junior defender, he is one of the changes that Radnor made. Sam, you mentioned a few moments ago that Radnor had made some alterations in their lineup. There's another one, Keith Shilcock-Elliott, who moved up top early in the season. He was playing back midfield and even defensively. And he's pulled away with the ball, tried to lay it out wide to Nogales. Nogales actually did not get it, but Lewisburg did. They touched it back, and Nogales is going to give chase now as the Green Dragons take it deep into the corner. Number 5, Luke Ziegler, has it down there, tries to lay it up the line. Shilcock-Elliott trying to get position, but knocked out by Jeff Regal, the senior midfielder for Lewisburg. And now it's Chris Dambley with a throw-in for Radnor. The other big change for the Raiders was dropping senior Matt Hitson back on defense. Chris Dambley, trying to navigate through some white shirts, did a little bit of a job there. Here's Hitson with the ball now. He's going to serve it long up the middle. Shilcock-Elliott was loose. He's in. Shot. Save. Nobody following in from the weak side. Nogales was watching. He might have had a chance had he charged the goal on that one, but Shilcock-Elliott had I won't say he had an open shot, but he probably had the near side of the goal and didn't take it.
It's a shot he's going to be disappointed with. He was one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and the ball was bouncing a little bit, but he needs to find a corner there, maybe get a little more pace on it. But it's a good sign right there. You almost saw an own goal possibility. I thought Radnor looked a little bit unsettled until this possession. And right now, Lewisburg showing their yips a little bit.
Well, they've just yielded a corner kick. That's going to be Chris Dambley stepping up to the flag. And Radnor hasn't scored a lot on corner kicks, but they do have some people who can get up and head it. Shilcock-Elliott is one, Hitson is another. Let's see if Dambley can get it into him. He does, but it hits 2 white shirts. Panos Panitas, who's been a real factor for the Raiders in the late going, was there to knock it on down. Ball chipped in. Shilcock-Elliott trying to get loose. He's going to pop it over. There it is. Off the post and in. It's a goal. Shilcock-Elliott. Well, he hadn't scored in a few games, but it was a big one there to put the Radnor Raiders up on the board first against Lewisburg. Only the 4th goal they have given up this season. They gave it up in the first 6 minutes.
And what put Keith through was the centering ball down the middle from Hood deflected off one of the defenders from Lewisburg and put Keith onside and kind of put their defense at a disadvantage, and he beat the keeper and he brought a head to the ball, which you could have maybe heard me in the background saying that that's the touch he needed.
Well, I think he knew it. He is a veteran player. He's the youngest of 4 brothers. He's been to more soccer matches than most people think about going to in a lifetime. But he picked up a lot through osmosis, I think.
He used to sit on the bench when I was still coaching when he was...
Here's a shot by Lewisburg. Let's not get too cocky here if you're a Radnor fan. That was a shot parried down by Tom Gallagher. Not sure why he didn't catch that one, but he didn't. And Radnor quickly tries to counter through Shilcock Elliott. Obviously, the Raiders pretty excited about getting up on the board, but there's a long, long way to go in this state semifinal.
Classic Athletic Association, International Federation of High School.
Lee Bissett.
Rules prohibit the use of artificial noisemakers such as whistles, bells, or sirens of any type.
I'd like to see Radnor come up behind this play now. They're stretched out all over the field.
That's right. We saw Panidis and Nogales on the near side just watching to see if Bissett was going to do something, and that's really not the way you want to.
I'm going to watch Keith Shilcock Elliott here a little bit right now. Don't know if he's favoring something at this point. We'll see in a second.
He has stepped off the pitch temporarily, and now he's going to come back in.
I think we're talking about a groin at this point.
Well, we might be. It looks like Jay On will come in to replace Shilcock Elliott, and that would be a definite blow to Radnor if Shilcock Elliott is unable to return. But
Radnor, number 25, Jay On.
Don't know if that was a result of a celebration or just working hard to get to the goal. But in any event, Jay On, the senior, is in, and On has had himself a pretty nice little season coming in off the bench. Right here he is in traffic, but a little bit too much traffic, and now the Green Dragons try to bring it back up and start some attack. They have had very little so far, but as we said early on in this one, long ball forward, looking for Alex Permiashkin, and they said even the coaching staff of Lewisburg has trouble pronouncing his name. Here's Gallagher covering up a shot to the near post. Actually, that was a hair wide, but Gallagher wanted to make sure.
Nobody really looks comfortable yet. Neither keeper, neither team really has settled in yet. The goal is a bonus. The injury to Shilcock Elliott is a worry. Radnor's got to possess the ball here a little bit, settle into this new lineup that they have at this point.
Well, it is the starting lineup, save Shilcock Elliott. On will run up top. This is, if you've been following the Raiders, you know they play something of a unique arrangement to cover the field. It's a 4-2-3-1, popularized by former head coach Alan Metzger. Metzger, who yielded to Kyle Shilcock Elliott 2 years ago. And we'll talk about the coaching staff, actually. Sam is one of the only 4 coaches at Radnor High School. Kyle Shilcock Elliott played under you. His assistant, also eminently capable, Joe Carullo, an outstanding soccer player. And here's a giveaway by Dambly in the box. Coming in, Gallagher covers it up. The ball still in play, and Dambly's going to get it back. Well, there was a great opportunity for the Green Dragons to find an equalizer, and they're going to be disappointed that they didn't come out of there with a goal.
Again, both teams had the yips, and we haven't seen how this game really is going to be played yet.
We are just about 10 minutes in. Radnor up on top through a 6-minute goal from Keith Shilcock Elliott, and he has already retired to the sideline with a possible thigh or groin injury. We shall see. He had not had any such injury during the season, so this is something new. Here's Lencecchio taking it down deep. He's going to get a chance to square and cross. There it is, deflected. Coming in from the weak side, Roberto Nogales. Or I'm sorry, Roberto, that's his father, Rodrigo Nogales, puts a second goal up on the board for the Radnor Raiders.
Great cross. I didn't think they had numbers, but you had a good play by the Radnor player on the near post. I didn't see who that was. And it looked like we might have missed our chance. Looked like the angle might be too severe, and Rodrigo scored the same kind of goals that his brother Javier did here in the early to mid-90s.
number 25, Jay On.
There you go, Jay On, who was in the match for Keith Shilcock-Elliott, and Shilcock-Elliott's going to come back in and give it a go, but
Number 22, Rodrigo.
All eyes right now are going to be on Keith Shilcock-Elliott. I'm sure Kyle is going to be watching him.
well, Panos Panidis working it. Radnor starting to try to get that passing game up. Sam Holt has stepped aside for just a moment. He'll be right back to join me, but we'll keep you up to date on what's going on right now. The Green Dragons find themselves in an uncharacteristic 2-0 hole. As we said at the top of this video cast, they had given up just 3 goals all season. They had been tied once. Apparently that was in a field that was a day after some severe weather. The field was in terrible condition according to the information we got, and they wound up just calling that one a draw at the end of play. But Radnor has to be pretty happy about where they are at this juncture. And, well, Chris Dambley now, the Radnor defender on the sidelines, he's getting checked out by local trainer Shilcock-Elliott back on the field. Dambley is off, so here are the Green Dragons loading up for the shot to Gallagher, and that one deflected on in. A bullet from Bryn Ziegler, the career scoring leader for the Green Dragons, and wow. Well, that's what you call responding.
Yeah, and a nice look at goal. I think Gallagher would be upset that he didn't get that up over the bar.
Goal scored by number 18, Jeff Riggle.
That's why the kid's the leading scorer in his school's history. Took a good look at goal, cracked it, had a little bit of a swerve on it.
Goal scored by number 18, Jeff Riggle. Assist, number 21, Bryn Ziegler.
I was mistaken on the call. It was Jeff Riggle, who scored the goal. Ziegler had the assist, but nonetheless, the Green Dragons have pulled one back. And here we go. Radnor having a lot of space right now, Sam. John Hood, who had a marvelous game against Elko the other day in the quarterfinal, surging ahead, and this one is going to run out, I believe, off Hood, and they're going to call a goal kick.
I thought that Lewisburg would have trouble double and triple teaming like they like to do because the field's too big, and the bounces are true here, you know. Whereas if you get a bumpy field or a narrower field, it's a little easier for Lewisburg to do that. But Radnor's let him right back into the game. And again, this game, even with 3 goals, does not have a shape to it whatsoever. Other than what you said, Radnor has a bit of more space than I think they probably thought they were going to have so far tonight, you know.
Here's Checchio.
Radnor's defense has been uncharacteristically nervous and generous so far, too.
A little bit. Here's Hitson. Hitson's a guy who could bring it all the way up the field on his own. He tried to get that one outside. And, again, you know, it's funny. Well, we'll talk about this in just a second as Panos Panidis surges ahead. Cut out nicely there by Luke Ziegler defensively, and the Green Dragons will try the right side. Little 1-2. Right there's Matt Hitson to return the favor. And now here comes Hitson with some room to operate. He sends it down in the lane. Nogales is going to give chase, and he touches it and gets a deflection. It's going to be a throw-in for Radnor. I'll tell you what, Jeff Riggle gave up on that one. If I were him, I would have tried to pick that ball up and steal a throw-in. One timed out by the Green Dragons. They play it inside to Connor Luskin. Long outlet, Hitson. They'll probably figure out in a hurry that they're not going to have a lot of success attacking down Hitson's side. Throw in for Radnor, John Hood. Over the head of Keith Shilcock-Elliott. Len Checchio in the middle. picked off his feet by Bryn Ziegler, and now Ziegler working through the midfield. Panidis picks it off and goes down, looking through for Shilcock Elliott. He's got to run inside. Shilcock Elliott on the move. This one's a little too wide, though, and Pat Donegan is going to hustle out off the line to pick that one up. John Hood put it right into the Green Dragon player there, number 33, Jeremy Hollum, but Radnor retains possession. Sargent coming through, has Checchio right near him. Sargent now with some space, dribbles right into Jeff Regal. Big collision there, they popped right up. Slide tackle attempt by John Hood, and now Ziegler picks it up. Goes into the middle of the field, and Zach Lieb into the match for Radnor. Tried to intercept that. Justin Matthews does. Shilcock Elliott knocks it back, and behind Chris Sargent it goes right to Connor Luskin of Lewisburg. Well, Lewisburg seems to be gaining a little bit more confidence after that goal. They're knocking it around a bit. This one's going to be interesting. We told you, even after the 2 early goals from Radnor, not to get too excited just yet.
I will tell you what I don't like here on both teams is that they're all over the field. Neither team yet has kept their shape and compactness so that when one team wins the ball, they just have 30, 40 yards to just move on the other team. And you notice we're just going up and down the field right now. The first team that can keep themselves squeezed a bit is going to pick up first and second passes after the other team gets the ball and attack back again. So,
right.
But not yet.
Here's a ball inside to Nogales. Nogales gets tangled up with Luskin. Luskin comes out of there. Hood got a touch on it, but the Green Dragons now lay it on back. And Shilcock Elliott with a chance to get some position here. He does. He's all by himself right now against 4 Green Dragons. Nobody coming in to help. Shilcock Elliott gets down loose. He's going to cut it back. What a serve to Hood. Shot. Goal! John Hood! Shilcock Elliott with eyes in the back of his head.
Well, you know, kind of, but the eyes were in his ears. You could hear Hood up here, and I think Keith heard Hood also. And I do think that the leg is bothering him a little bit, just because that is not as quick as he usually gets to the byline, but he did it on guile rather than quickness or speed, and the ball was on the floor, and it was just well struck him. No goalkeeper gets that. And this equals the number of goals that Lewisburg gave up in 24 games here in
16 minutes.
In 16 minutes.
So,
wide open, folks.
The Green Dragons must be in shock right now.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Let's see what the next 5 minutes brings. So far, the Radnor defense has given both of the chances to Lewisburg on plays that they ordinarily make. So let's see how we get here.
Dambly with a long diagonal ball, and that's what you want to see on a wide field.
But not toward the defenders.
Right.
But definitely the right idea. You almost hate to see it with a bad back, his first touch of the ball, but, you know, I guess he was just testing it out, right? You cannot afford to have Chris Dambly not on the field. I think from September 3rd to today, the most consistent player on the team, game in and game out.
I would agree with you. I think
the MVP, but the most consistent. Excuse me.
Yep. Ball into the middle, looking for Shilcock Elliott, defended away by Michael Crone, number 19 for the Green Dragons. And now it's Ziegler with the ball in the midfield. Quickly they try to get up. Dambly handballed that, and he gave himself away.
Right, and probably could have got a yellow card there. I like the officiating so far. Unfortunately, we're going to lose this man in the middle here in a few minutes because of the dreaded 3-whistle system. See this? See this? You just cannot let, you can't ball watch. And right now, the Radnor defense ball watching.
Well, Matt Hitson came skating out from the middle there to cover up. Lee Bissett was beaten by a step on that high floater, and now here come the Green Dragons once again, but there is Hitson. And Hitson left foots it out to Panidis. Panidis, one of the speedier players on the Radnor team and also one of the feistier players. He'll run through brick walls for you. Sometimes that's not exactly called for, but he'll do it anyway.
You see Radnor's too stretched again. A couple of times passes in the back. We're trying to reach people, but the Radnor players have to support 10 yards on the ball here rather than 20 and 25 yards on the ball.
Well, again, this field is not all that much larger in size than what Radnor plays on at home. It's a little bit larger, but Radnor also does not play on Enke Field, the artificial surface field at Radnor, in every game. So, you know, it's still a change of pace when you get here. They did play on artificial turf in their quarterfinal against Elko. Very nice complex in Amish country.
Radnor's been lucky to play all their games on turf because they play a majority of their home games on turf.
Yep. Corner kick opportunity.
It's important not to give this back this soon, or you're just going to have just a wild shootout. That's a great ball.
Ball popped up. Gallagher running around, didn't call for that ball. Radnor is finally going to scrape it on out of here. Len Cecchio plays it out on the near side. It's going to be a throw-in for Lewisburg. We see Kyle Fisher, defender, in for the Green Dragons, number 2.
There's the man nearest the ball. Radnor doesn't mark on a throw-in, and now you have a man facing the stands. No danger. We foul him from behind. They get to put a ball into a nervous Radnor defense right now. We need a take charge situation back here. That last service was very good for Lewisburg, by the way.
For Lewisburg.
There comes Kyle Fisher to restart it. He's going to a high floater all the way across, headed goalward and just wide. The fans on the near side got all excited because from their perspective it looks like that was inside the near post, but it was pretty deep behind the frame. Goal kick for Radnor. Well, I don't know that the Red Raiders and Kyle Shook-Elliott expected to be parking 3 goals in the back of the net this quickly against a team that hadn't given up much, but
I don't think they expected to be this loose in the back either. I think Kyle would not be happy with how loose they are in the back, but just as happy as you can be with the 3 goals, and I don't think we've seen the last goal of the day.
I suspect you're right on that count, Sam. Right now the Raiders are going to try to press it forward. They've been under a little bit of pressure on their own defensive end for a few moments, and now they're going to see if they can't turn it around and bring it uphill a little bit. Here's a long ball looking for Shook-Elliott. Donegan well off his line and gets there 2 steps ahead of the Red Raider forwards. Chris Dambley coming up to pick off a ball and then try to a little move and almost got around number 5, Luke Ziegler. They call a foul. Not quite so sure about that one, but that's the way it went.
The ball was going to Rodrigo. He could have played advantage, but you could hear the boot-on-boot contact.
Here's Matt Hitson coming up out of the back. Nice little foundation move. Hitson skates in along the 18. He's going to shoot and be wide to the right.
I like that, though. That makes the front runners from Lewisburg realize that a Radnor back is going to get forward. You know, the only trouble with this is you have Damley and Hitson forward at the same time, and I didn't see Cecchio filling back in, which I would have liked to have seen in that situation. Got to keep your shape. Soccer term for meaning balance.
Bissett slots it ahead. Sargent, who's had very few touches so far tonight, but he's somebody who could cut loose at any moment. Sargent, between he and Matt Hitson, probably 2 of the faster players. Here's a long, high arching ball into the box. Tom Gallagher, no problem with that one. And his punt comes over the midfield line. Hard to see the 18-yard box in the center circle here at Hershey Park Arena. Looks like they more recently lined it for football. And interestingly, I was going to talk about this a little earlier. When you play on a multi-purpose field like this and you have football lines out there, there's a very subconscious tendency to stay inside the football boundaries by your wide men.
That's true. That's absolutely a great point.
So here's Nogales out wide looking for Shook-Elliott. A little misfire in the back, and Shook-Elliott may get a chance to pick this one up. Pulls it back, hangs in, and finally poked away by Luke Ziegler. Well,
a good way to practice against what you were just talking about is when you practice for games like this, knowing you're on a field like this, is to set up a channel of cones and show the wide players that if they stay in that channel, and you know, you got the yellow line here for the soccer field, you got the white line for the football field. There's your width right in there.
Sure.
You know. But you're right. If you're not thinking, it kind of draws you in.
Ball squirts inside. Radnor has an opportunity to play it across the field, but to Matthew, if he had come forward, Panita has tried to work through traffic. It squirts out to Dambly. Dambly squaring up, takes it inside. Dambly can rip, and here's the shot from Dambly. He has hit. He has a pretty heavy foot. He is not big physically, but he can pull the trigger. Sam, what do you see in the midfield?
Well, what I see right now is number 18 here for Lewisburg, Jeff Regal, having to spend more time marking Dambly. Dambly's a defender, Regal's a midfielder, and yet Regal has spent most of this half right in front of us where we're filming here, as opposed to, you know,
being up forward,
stuck in his end. And really, Dambly only messed up, made a mistake early in a game when they got through, and that's the only time Regal has even seen a sniff of the ball. What'll happen is this will force Lewisburg to play deeper and deeper. And here we go again.
Here comes Dambly again. It got carved out this time, and nice little touch there by Hollum, but given away by Regal. I'll tell you, if Radnor can pick off another goal here in this half, it could be tough sailing for Lewisburg. You know, Radnor still only has a 2-goal lead, and even though it's not 2-0, it's still dangerous. Yep, Radnor has plenty of space on the far side if they just serve it into space, but instead we're dribbling in traffic, and here's a ball ahead to Sargent. He misplayed it. Patrick Brame defensively, and it's hammered on out by Luke Ziegler of Lewisburg, and you see them doing that a little bit. I think they feel the pressure when Radnor comes down here offensively. Ball inside to On, skipped away from him, and boy, I'll tell you what, Michael Crone has had some problems defensively in the back for Lewisburg with his touches in the early going. And again, it's still, in the first half, still could be nerve time. You know, Lewisburg, we said, state champions in Class A 2000, but that was 4 years ago. None of these guys were playing for the team then. And here's a ball through. Look out, Gallagher hustling out, and he's going to cover this up right in front of Bryn Ziegler. Ziegler had inside position on Justin Matthew.
Radnor is having trouble with their first touch and then trying to make square passes instead of pass the way you're facing, drop it diagonally, come out wide on the other side. And really, I have not seen anything from Lewisburg built from their half to the other half. Everything has come off Radnor mistakes, bad passes, bad first touch. If Radnor gets defense together, you know, this game should be lights out. But as it stands right now, I can't tell you that Lewisburg couldn't score 2 goals right now.
Right.
Radnor has really opened themselves up here in the back by bringing people forward, but they covered that well. Hitson came forward that time, but they did cover it well.
John Hood and Len Checchio both dropping back defensively. Lewisburg really has not gotten numbers forward. They're going to try to do it on a breakaway, it would seem. And Radnor has good speed defensively. And
Bassett just got himself in trouble there because he let a ball bounce in front of him and then tried to head it, and it kind of skipped around. Deal with that ball in the air. Even if, you know, don't let the ball land. Strikers love it when you want to touch the ball in front of them. Do their work for you.
Here's the square ball. Here comes Sargent.
What's the run?
Moving ahead, Shilcock Elliott with a diagonal run. He's open. Sargent tried to get it to him, but waited one touch too long. He could have played that out into space and let Shilcock Elliott run to it, but he dribbled right up to the defender, and it got deflected away. And that's just, you know, the difference between, you know, somebody who plays soccer all the time and somebody who plays part-time. And, you know.
Right. Well, he got too close to the defender, and then he lost his angle.
Yep.
Because Shilcock Elliott made his run early. And you know what happens? He makes that pass, and it comes back inside, and Sargent's the guy who scores the goal.
Yep. Lewisburg working it down the far side.
Both teams are giving so much room to the other team to settle balls. Now look at the room here that
Justin
Matthews has here. There's another bad pass. So, you know, we're better than this. I'm going to say we at this point because that's the way I feel about things in a state semifinal. But you know,
we're going to allow Sam Holt to be a little partial tonight because he spent a lot of time with this program. But you know,
we're just kind of scuffing our passes and everything like that. Game's not settled yet.
Rodrigo Nogales into the match. Jay On will move up top. Keith Shilcock Elliott will come off.
It doesn't seem to be favoring that foot too much. That might be tight. Might be tight this evening, but hopefully he'll have a few days to take care of that.
Yeah.
As opposed to a whole season.
Well, And the fact that he has come off in the half, that is something that's been going on all season long. That's not that's not something new tonight because of an injury or anything. Shilcock Elliott usually gets rested for 5, 6, 7 minutes each half. He is packs a few pounds, let's say, on that big frame. You can see that Lewisburg right now generating some forward momentum, but then they got a little anxious there, I think. That was
Jeremy Hollum standing. We have 5 defenders back. Jeremy Hollum is standing in the middle of them, and no one's taking charge of him. Lewisburg has played ball through to his feet, and
here's a ball in deep. That was Chris Sargent trying to get it back to Jay On. Little 1-2 thing going on there, but little too much pace on that one. Ran over the byline. It's a goal kick for the Green Dragons of Lewisburg. Lewisburg coming out of Central PA. They play in the Susquehanna Valley League. Primarily AA, single A type teams. They have played a couple AAA size schools. That in stark contrast to Radnor, who plays almost entirely AAA schools back in suburban Philadelphia, because there are only 16 AA schools in the 5 counties surrounding Philadelphia. Here's Len Checchio working down the right side for Radnor. Defensively, Ted Grimm, number 15, right on his back. Checchio sends a diagonal inside looking for Panitas, but no connection there.
the exception in the schedule would be Christopher Dock as an A team, but the exception happens to be a team that was state champions last year.
Yeah, they did not play Christopher Dock this year, but they did play him last year, and Christopher Dock handed their head to him. Len Checchio tries to pass it right through a defender.
We're making this sport very difficult right now. Again, it seems very silly at 3-1, but our passes are going into people. Our passes are
Well, we're going to call a foul there on number 9, Peter Callan.
This referee has done really a good job.
That was probably a foul. He leaned and put the elbow out at the same time, and that was...
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder is fine. You can't extend the arm.
Right.
Just make a couple of passes here, and I think we get a fourth goal.
On lays it out to Nogales. Nogales ahead to Panitas. Panitas tried a quick turning shot on in traffic, and the Green Dragons get it on out of there. Lewisburg working it up through Bryn Ziegler.
You can see Ziegler's quality. He's the one guy that catches your eye so far for Lewisburg. Ball comes through him, cleanly goes out to somebody else on his team. Puts themselves in good position to get the ball back. Radnor's a little more compact now. This is good.
And when we talk about compact, the concept is strong side, weak side, pretty much across the field. In other words,
not just up and down the field.
It's the width of the field, and when the ball is on the near side, for example, you want your defenders on the far side to come in side and support rather than worry about a guy who's standing 65, 70 yards across the field. You fly a ball across the field, you'll be able to recover in time to mark that guy. Here's Chris Sargent, who gave the ball away on the initial touch and then stayed after it, and now he's got Rodrigo Nogales with all kinds of space down the left side. He delivers the ball nicely, but no fill-in behind by Radnor. Nogales is up there on his own. Here come the midfielders finally, and Nogales elects to drop it all the way back to Chris Dambley defensively. Dambley goes inside. Ball drop back, Bissett. Matthew on the right side now for Radnor. Ahead, Sargent. It was touched out, though, defensively by Patrick Brame. Throw in for Radnor on the far side. Inside, 9 minutes left in this one. Radnor, the District 1 champions, up on top 3-1 over the District 4 champions, Lewisburg. Hollum, all kinds of room to receive that ball right there. And he plays it out wide to Ziegler. Ziegler just calmly turns it back.
Hollum is always alone. Look at him right now, alone. Nobody is really taking responsibility from him. Lewisburg could really play through him. If we ever get a wide-angle shot, especially when they're moving into our half, 33 it's an unusual position for a kid that tall to play. He's about 6'3" or 6'4", and he's getting most of the balls on his feet.
Re-entering the match for Lewisburg, number
boy, he is unattended.
For Radnor, we see Chris Sargent headed to the sidelines. Jay On will slip out to the far side, and Keith Shilcock Elliott back into the match. Ball, Radnor had trouble with that throw-in, and
you don't. You're ahead 3-1. It's near the end of the half. You don't throw the ball square or backwards into your own defensive segment at that point in time, especially when you're a little nervous in the back.
The concept there is make your mistakes up the field, not deep.
Absolutely, especially in high school. I just watched a Premier League team in England lose a game because of that exact same play.
Matt Hitson with the left foot looking for Shilcock Elliott. It was headed on its way up and skimmed past Shilcock Elliott. Ball outside Fisher. Fisher had a little trouble with it. Ball sent back inside, but On couldn't get to it. And had On been packed in a little bit closer, he might have had an opportunity to pressure that ball. Nice wide ball played by Lewisburg inside to Ziegler. Ziegler's got position. Can he pull the trigger? No. There is Matt Hitson. I'm sorry, Lee Bassett to recover. Ball outlet. But Shilcock Elliott behind the defenders there. If they want to get it to Shilcock Elliott, they're going to have to fly it there. And because he is drawing all kinds of attention. Checchio perhaps got away with a foul there. Shilcock Elliott pulls it in. Now he checks his options. He's going to take it himself. Slots it through for On, and On is just not going to get there.
Good ball. Good ball.
That was a pretty one, but On, who is, has seen plenty of playing time but does not start and doesn't maybe get as many minutes as some of the other players, wasn't really ready for that one. Hitson now down the right side, and that one, they say, still inbounds. Thought it was out, but play on. Hitson now in the middle of the field, lays it wide to Damley. This is something that Radnor did very well during the season. Knock it around the back, restart the offense. John Hood. Checchio out wide to Matthew. This looks a little bit more like the Radnor that we've seen. Yeah. Exactly. Ahead to Panitas. One time forward looking for On, but On's just going to let Lewisburg play it on out, and that's okay.
See what happened? Now you're 20 yards from goal here with possession, and it's up to Lewisburg to chase the game. It's not up to us to lose the ball to a Lewisburg player standing in front of us. We've got to find numbers up situations. 3v2s, 4v2s, take advantage of it, make them chase us.
Play the open man. There's going to be plenty of space. Here we go. Ball played into the middle. Matt Hitson. Hitson is going to drive it right up the middle now. Hitson, who has good pace, is going to take it out wide to the right. He's got a bunch of white shirts chasing him still. Hitson with the ball. What the heck? Might as well take it all the way down if he can, and it's out off number 15, Ted Grimm, the defender for the Green Dragons. Well, Radnor Raiders have definitely carried the play through the first half, even though they've had some shaky moments.
Yep, most of the chances Lewisburg's had has come from tactical or physical mistakes by Radnor, not build-up.
Here's a ball through. They're going to say that I don't know if Shilcock Elliott was off, but On definitely was.
And On there's no excuse for him to be offside there. There was 3 touches here, and Keith was going to break through and have a shot on goal there. That's just that's keeping your head in the game.
Long outlet we see. That was just over Panis Panitas. Hollum got it. And now Lewisburg tries to work it through the middle. Connor Luskin, but there's Panitas to take it off him. And here's Checchio. He had the run from Shilcock Elliott. Did not deliver it. Now he does. Shilcock Elliott pulled back for space. Here comes the crossing ball to Nogales. Nogales with a left foot, perhaps. Yes! Oh, just touched away by Donegan. A great shot.
I don't know if you could see this, and I'm sure you could. The goalkeeper was just feeling that he was going to shoot to his left and started to cheat, and Rodrigo almost got him near post.
Radnor corner being taken by number 11, Lenny Checchio. Short corner.
Short corner. Damley is going to go all the way across and behind. Shilcock Elliott is going to give chase. And he tried to drop it back, finally does to Matthew. Matthew returns the favor. Shilcock Elliott working in traffic is going to take it down deep. He got here once before. There's the crossing ball, but Donegan cut it off. Shilcock Elliott had to lunge just to keep that one from running on out and did not get the lift on that one that he wanted.
That was nice hard work by Lieb to get that ball. No, excuse me, Panitas to get that ball back in again. Ooh.
There's Panitas' ball. Panitas and Kyle Fisher going 1-to-1 there. Ball sent down the flank. This is going to run out deep in the Radnor end.
I'm impressed with Panitas' work rate tonight off the ball and trying to win the ball back. He always works hard on the ball. He always works hard when he's offensively near getting the ball.
Well, We're looking away from the ball. You don't get to see the perspective that we do sometimes on the camera, and that's certainly no fault of our outstanding cameraman, Jim Eagle. He's got to follow the action, but some of the comments that you're hearing from us tonight are talking about things that are happening away from where the ball actually is, and sometimes those are the little morsels that make the difference.
And see right there, Chris Damley trying to dribble through somebody here out of the back. 3-1 lead, not necessary. You know, find a numbers up situation, play hood, move by him, get the ball back. But to try to beat somebody there, there's really no, you're not getting full value, because if you beat him, you still have 70 yards to play. You're not getting a shot on goal after that.
Here's a service by Lewisburg into the box. It was headed up initially by Ziegler, and it looks like the Green Dragons will chase it down. They're going to drop it back, coming forward defensively, and now here's Ziegler in the middle of the field. Ziegler trying to find some room to generate a shot. He's not going to, and Panitas is going to throw this one way up the field to the midfield line, and the Green Dragons send it right back in. Hitson got down low for the header, and now Jay on the far side. It's out off Lewisburg. Radnor with a throw-in opportunity. Justin Matthew. Checchio with all kinds of space in the midfield. Checchio brings it to the near side. Nogales is going to have to challenge for the ball, but instead it was Jeff Regal who went after that one. Hitson got a touch to it, played it out wide for Dambley. Dambley narrowly avoided problems. The ball squirts ahead to Nogales, and Radnor, the beneficiary of some favorable bounces right there, but now Checchio in the middle of the field. Wide to Matthew coming up out of the back.
First half.
We are in the final 60 seconds of this first stanza, and Radnor now trying to settle in a bit. Hitson dribbled right towards the defender, played it out wide. Shilcock Elliott came out to play for it. He got a touch on it, but it's out off the senior forward, and it's a throw-in for Lewisburg. Well, they're going to maybe have one chance to get it down the field here if they can move it along a bit. Other than shortly after Radnor scored and after Lewisburg had that goal, the Green Dragons really haven't gotten much in on Tom Gallagher. Not that Radnor's taken a lot of shots, but they've had a lot of the possession in midfield, and you know, when they have the ball, that means Lewisburg can't move forward, and that's you know. Yeah,
Radnor's created their chances. Lewisburg was opportunistic with their chance and always had another one actually.
6, 5.
So you got to feel much better about Radnor at this point.
3, 2, 1, halftime.
Well,
your score at halftime: Radnor 3 and Lewisburg 1 at the half.
Well, you might have heard the stadium announcer giving you the halftime tally. Indeed, it is the Radnor Raiders up on top 3-1 over Lewisburg. We hope you're enjoying this video cast here on ESVN, the Eastern Soccer Video Network. I'm Jeff Elliott, my colleague Sam Holt. We're going to stay here for the second half of action. It's going to be exciting. Radnor with a chance for only the second time in school history for a boys team to get to the state final. They're in good position right now. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back. The Radnor Raiders working their way back onto the field for the second half. And Sam, we've had a little time to talk about what went on in the first half. What do you think?
I think Lewisburg has to make more of a conscious effort to get numbers forward and not be so intent on defending, and I know Radnor had a lot to do with that. Number 33 and number 10 have had all sorts of space for Lewisburg, and Radnor really hasn't paid attention like they should, and Lewisburg has to, I think, come through them and score through 21. Ziegler was his name?
Ziegler, yeah. Right. Bryn Ziegler.
For Radnor, they need to calm down in the back, make the simple pass, play width, and let the ball do the work, and let Lewisburg chase the game, but and cut down the mistakes close in.
Well, we are underway, and let's see how it all shakes out. Both coaches have had a chance to talk to their troops and make whatever adjustments they want to make, with Jeremy Hollum having the ball right now. Drops to Ziegler. Ziegler's going to try it out wide. Matt Hitson. I'll tell you what, now the Green Dragons may not realize this, but again, right, I would say if you were going to try to pick which side is the strong side defensively for Radnor, Dambly and Hitson perhaps a little bit stiffer on their side than Matthew and Bissett. And that's not to denigrate the effort from Matthew and Bissett, but we'll see whether the coaching staff picked up on that. Here's a long ball into the box. Lewisburg is pressing the action early, but Sargent pops it all the way out. Shilcock Elliott had it go up. He's going to takes it on the head, and now he's going to chase it down himself. He's got the inside run from Sargent. Ball poked out wide by number 19, Michael Crone. Well,
that last flurry right there was all of Radnor's making. Matt Hisson wins the ball, tackles it beautifully, tries to carry it upfield, not necessary, tactically or and turn the ball over. And then boom, 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 and they, thank goodness, never get a clean look at goal. But almost all of Lewisburg's offense has come off Radnor's mistakes in the back.
Referee stopped play temporarily to come back up the field and check on number 9, Peter Callan. He had gone down during that flurry by Lewisburg, but he's up and at it, so I think he's going to be okay. Hood tried to quickly turn it inside to Checchio, didn't get enough on it. Ziegler tracked it down for the Green Dragons. And now they drop it out to the right side. That's number 18 over there, Jeff Regal. He's been there all night.
Rodrigo needs to pressure him. If you stay way off a player, he can look anywhere down the field, deliver a ball where he wants to.
Semi-final, Dan Tatum 2 and Christopher Dock 1, the final score.
How about that? District 1, Christopher Dock, the state single A power out of District 1, knocked off by Antietam of District 3. We're in District 3 territory right here. Little 1-2 between Hood and Panitas. Hood coming forward, sees no way through, so drops it back to Checchio. And that may be exactly the kind of thing you're talking about. Hood leaves it for Matthew out wide. Matthew comes forward. Panitas has some room coming to the near side. Here comes Matthew on the overlapping run. Nice job by the Radnor defender, but the ball not laid out far enough in front. Matthew lays it back. Panitas, they left him alone. Panitas has all kinds of trouble corralling that ball. And now the Green Dragons get it forward at least momentarily to Hollum. He can't hang on, but Ziegler is there to pick it up. Dambly stepping forward to try to break up the forward momentum, and now Radnor controls through Hood. He tries to lay it out wide, but standing flat-footed was Chris Sargent coming in there to pick it off. Ted Grimm of the Green Dragons. Well, certainly through the early couple of minutes, and it is just that, Lewisburg playing with a little bit more energy and purpose right now than Radnor. Ball to the near side. Grimm. Matthew defensively. Grimm takes it inside. Tries to cut it up through. There's Hitson to knock it aside. Panitas can't get to it. Coming forward, that is Larkin. I'm sorry. Luskin. I'm sorry. Connor Luskin.
I like Luskin.
Here's a high floating ball. Gallagher's out, and he punches it out of a crowd right there. Well, from our perspective, it was hard to tell whether Gallagher had that one lined up or not, but he got up above the crowd and did what you're supposed to do in that situation. So good job by the Radnor goalkeeper right there. Chris Dambly now coming forward. Ahead, Shilcock Elliott, and he had trouble tracking that one down. The Green Dragons play it across the backside. Patrick Johnson right now up ahead, but there's Matthew.
I like to see everybody work as hard as Keith Shilcock Elliott's working right now.
Here's Shilcock Elliott. He's going to try to unload if he gets a chance. He's down deep, and he's going to get hurted off the ball for a corner kick, but hey, that's okay. If you're a Radnor fan, that's all right. You'll take a free one from the corner right now.
Raiders corner being taken by number 11, Lenny Checchio.
See Matt Hitson coming up out of the back to get involved in the restart. Chris Dambly sneaking up, so that's probably going to pull Peter Callan along with him, and that leaves.
You hope so.
That leaves Jeremy Hollum up top by himself. Matthew coming in from the weak side, got a head on that. It's drifting out to the far side. It's going to run over the byline.
And he's had some great moments this year coming in on the backside. He's a kid who instinctively understands that most high school defenders will stare at the ball and move toward the ball, and he just comes into the back post, set up a goal in the quarterfinal game that he was credited with, but maybe Rodrigo Nogales tipped in and had a big goal early in the year, maybe in the Downingtown West-East game, I forget which.
Downingtown East was the opponent this year for Radnor. Ball cut back inside for Shilcock Elliott, not cut hard enough though, and here come the Green Dragons with some space through the middle of the field. Checchio stepped in, missed it. Ziegler, definitely the field commander for Lewisburg. Grimm Had it taken off his feet by
very
Panitas.
lethargic defensively. Get caught in possession here.
John Hood is coming forward, and he's got some space and time in front of him, and then he leaves it way out in front. And we'll see what head coach Kyle Shilcock-Elliott, what kind of information he gets into his guys from the sidelines. Ticked away, and Dambly keeps it alive, hits him inside and past Checchio, but there's John Hood to call for it. Checchio has it. He's turned around, touches ahead. Nogales one time's inside looking for Shilcock-Elliott, but Dambly.
These, just so you get a perspective, these are the games that when they played this way in the first half of the season, there was somebody there to stick them. There was a Conestoga or Strathaven to stick them. So far they haven't really, and they have. They paid a price in the first half of a goal, and Gallagher made a great save to save another goal. But all of this is Radnor's making, folks. Just string some passes together, get the ball wide.
And this is a high school team that can string passes together.
Yes.
We've seen it.
You're seeing this for the first time. This is not the way they play. They're calmer, cleaner with the ball, and it's a big event. But a 3-1 lead is supposed to relax you, you know.
And hands out foul there by number 6 Patrick Johnson, and
probably should have been carded for that little kick at the end there, but a little frustration.
Matthew restarts it quickly to Shilcock-Elliott. He waits for something to happen and then pulls it way back across the middle of the field. Not a wise decision there, as Hollum came in from the middle of the field to pick it up, but luckily for Radnor, they're going to pull this one out of the fire. Well, Shilcock-Elliott, for all the great touches he had in the first half, really made a boo-boo on that one. Nogales back to Dambly. Up forward for Panitas, but Lewisburg a little bit more attentive to challenging every play, and it's it's having its effect.
And they're having some success because Radnor's giving them the ball. That's a good ball. That's a good ball. Keith has got to work back to that, but that's the right ball.
Michael Crone got there just a step ahead of Shilcock-Elliott,
and it's wide, and the ball goes out of bounds, and we retain possession, and that's good. Again,
little check back move. Panitas, a chance to take it inside now. Panitas has it poked away. Checchio is going to track it down about 35 yards out. Inside and behind John Hood, and Dambly comes forward and knocks it aside. Nogales has Dambly outside. Here's Dambly at the edge of the box, and Dambly was having trouble with a bouncing ball and ran it right into the defender there.
But you see, that's worth it there. You know, that's 1v1 with it in the offensive zone. He gets by. We're in good shape. Where it's not worth it is back in this end of the field, in the defensive end, where there's no value for even for success. There's no value because you still got 70 yards to go. There's another square throw-in. Hate it.
There's a long ball forward. Shilcock-Elliott, if he can circle under, there's a little nudge header. Almost sprung himself loose there, but Michael Crone, who probably has been assigned to make sure that Shilcock-Elliott doesn't get loose again this half, did a good job, and he's going to keep on coming forward. And now here's a chance. Numbers forward for Lewisburg right now. If they just lay it across, they didn't see Ziegler. He wasn't yelling loud enough, or they didn't see him, but a corner kick opportunity now for the Green Dragons.
It's okay to get beat. It's not okay to recover. It's not okay when you get beat to just leave it to your teammates.
A corner kick for Lewisburg.
We got lucky there that the ball carrier didn't really see the back post player who was clean in. And Radnor dodged this, and we need the next 2 touches here, folks. If you're a defender now, you're looking to win the next 2 touches.
High in the air and up for that one was big Jeremy Hollum, but he skied that one over the frame.
And you can't fault Radnor for not being able to get to the ball before.
Yeah, Hollum at least a half a head taller than any Radnor defender. Well, the miracle.
What you've got to do with a player that tall is to man mark him before he gets his run in with a smaller player, impede his
run, sure.
Because if he gets inside the 6, it's just not possible.
Bissett got a touch. Hollum is going to cut it back. Here's Bissett to break it down, and Dambly is going to pound it out. Radnor does not look confident at this point. Not as confident as they should be, given their position on the scoreboard. Well, credit Lewisburg. You know, this is an unbeaten team, and there's a reason for that. Even though they haven't given up goals, they know how to stay after the game, and they're doing that right now. And here's a restart opportunity for Ted Grimm of Lewisburg. Across the top of the box, it's down loose. Hitson had a little trouble with that. And a soft one bouncer in on the net.
Alex Ashton with the shot.
You're just seeing a team struggling to get through this right now. I mean, the score doesn't matter, folks, when you play this sport sometimes. Sometimes the score flatters you. We're flattered here a little bit. We're trying to do little tricky things when the simple thing works.
There's a ball deflected wide and kept alive there nicely by Ted Grimm. That's going to give Lewisburg a chance to slide it ahead. And all of a sudden, Hollum, the guy who you said in the first half, Sam, was getting all kinds of space, getting in again, and he's getting giving Lee Bissett a handful right now. Ball checked back into the middle, but right there was John Hood to play it out. Chris Sargent touches it ahead for Shilcock Elliott. Shilcock Elliott bodies it off. He's got one man to beat. Can he touch it ahead? He does. Shilcock Elliott is loose. He'll probably hit it from here. They took one touch into the box, and it's played away. Well, Sargent was making the run to the far side. I think Shilcock Elliott wanted to deliver it. He didn't have much of an angle, but he's a kid who could beat a goalkeeper from a tough angle like that. He chose not to do it, and Radnor is going to get a corner kick out of this one.
Yeah, he ran out of gas a little bit, too, on that. He either had that cross early. Defender did a nice job with it. I know I've been a little tough on the back four, but Hood has been very steady and reliable tonight.
Checchio down the line and curled it out on its way in. Well, that's a mistake that you shouldn't make on a corner kick. All that hard work went for naught. And now Lewisburg just pounds this one up the field. They're going to see what they can do against Lee Bissett. Bissett checks it right back into, I believe that's number 8, Mike Mathias. Over there it is, and it's out off Radnor. Throw in for the Green Dragons. Well, in contrast to the first half, where Radnor was able to get the ball up the field and keep it up there at times, the exact opposite is going on just now. Well, my colleague next to me just living and dying with every touch here, but you got to understand, Sam Holt is a guy who really the keeper of Radnor history, and you know, even though he's been away from the game for a while, he
well, you know, I still coach at Delco and things like that, but this
no, I mean from Radnor,
yeah, from Radnor's point of view, this kind of a game makes the coaching you come out. you know what I'm saying? The tactical coaching you does come out in this situation, because this game should be you know, ziplocked. It should be home and dry, as the English say.
Right.
It's going to take a 4th goal for home and dry, I think.
Well,
and
Radnor commits
looks the more likely to score at this point in time.
That I would certainly agree with. They have had most of the play here in the second half. However, they have not really generated a good shot on goal in this half. So,
no question.
For all of that, now this one might, however, be an opportunity, but it flies right on through and over everybody. It's going to be a goal kick for Radnor, and we're going to see Jay on
number 25, Jay on
in for Keith Shilcock Elliott. Well, again, this is normal substitution pattern for the Radnor Raiders.
And you could see that he could use that a bit after that run. And, you know, the groin might be bothering him a bit that we're not aware of.
That's true. Radnor plays it out through Justin Matthew. They call him Juice. Maybe he was a little overjuiced at times in this one. But Radnor not really holding any possession forward so far in the first 15 minutes of this stanza. But again, they do have the 2-goal lead, and it, you know, in theory, they don't need to score anymore. They just need to keep Lewisburg out of the net, and that's, you know, they have accomplished that. Dambly with a chance perhaps if he can get to this one, but no, the sliding tackle.
There's a saying
by Luke Ziegler.
There's a saying, if you hit 3-1, you don't need 4 unless you're going to give up 3. So
that's right.
You know, but that's a little early to be using that quote with 25 minutes to go. We could definitely use another piece of magic here, though.
Benitez from distance, low roller, no problem for Donegan, and that might be his first handle of this second half.
Patrick Gunnigan with the save.
And a foul called against the Green Dragons on this one. Radnor will restart. Dambley takes it all the way across the back to Justin Matthew. Matthew has Sargent out wide. If he gets it to him right away, he does. Sargent knocks it on down, has on ahead. Sargent pulls it back in, right into number 15, Ted Grimm. Radnor, again, unable to keep the ball forward. They get 1 or 2 touches up in the front third, and that's all. And Lewisburg has to take some of the credit for that. They have done what they needed to do in terms of applying a little bit more pressure on Radnor and not giving them that kind of time and space. Here's Hood now. Hood is going to try it himself, and this one is going to run on out. It's a throw-in for Radnor, and into the match for the Green Dragons of Lewisburg, number 9, Peter Callan. He's going to replace Jeremy Hollum up top. Long throw-in down the line. And right off the bat, Callan gets a touch on the ball. He gets turned around by Bassett. He leaves it for Grimm. Grimm has been a man on a mission in this half, and this is out. They say off Grimm, goal kick for Radnor.
Got it. I'll talk to you.
Chris Dambley up the line. John Hood pops it straight up. The Green Dragons are going to get to this one. Grimm once again with all the touches in this half. Here comes Matthias. Matthias cuts it back inside. He's going to lay it deep, but Grimm did not have the overlapping run, and it's another goal kick for Radnor. Chris Dambley. Grimm up high. Well, Radnor would be do well. We talked about Lewisburg perhaps attacking the left side. They've been doing that a lot lately. Radnor perhaps would be well advised to keep it away from Ted Grimm on the near side. Grimm has been the man of the half for the Green Dragons. And we just got a final from the 1 PIAA semifinal. District 1 Westchester Henderson has advanced to the state final for the second time in 3 years with a 3-1 victory over Abington Heights. Well, not unexpected. Here's a high floater into the box. Gallagher underneath it. Could not parry it, and this is into the goal. And the Green Dragons are right back in this match. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? This has been a tale of 2 halves, and the second half has not been a tale of Radnor.
For Lewisburg, an unassisted goal by number 5, Luke Ziegler, in the 69th minute of the match.
69th minute,
Green Dragon goal to the
Luke Ziegler. A high floater over Tom Gallagher, and look out, ladies and gentlemen.
Practic goal in the 59th minute of the match for Lewisburg.
Justin Matthew up the line looking for Chris Sargent. Sargent picks it up. He's got it inside. Cuts it inside on and Sargent moving forward, and the ball's laid behind Sargent. He's going to have to turn around, and the Green Dragons are going to get it out. Grimm was held. I'm sorry, not Grimm, Ziegler.
This is your worst nightmare right now, that you let them get back into the game. Again, a soft goal. Radnor was talking to the referee about possibly obstruction with the goalkeeper, but that's not the way I saw it from here. And Radnor had best get their concentration in the back and start playing clean, because now it's no margin for error.
John Hood trying to work forward, but again, Radnor keeps attacking Ted Grimm, and he is the one guy who is going crazy this half for Lewisburg. I mean, he's had a lot of the play.
Well, there aren't people taking responsibility for people or passing people off from one defender to the other. It's tactical right now in the back, and who's going to do what, and in doing what Radnor's done is taken all their offense away from him also. You know, the problem is when you constantly turn the ball over is that you're not getting any offense and you're defending,
and here come the Green Dragons up the far side. Bissett has trouble with it.
This is abusive right now.
And a foul called, and look out. Well, this is about the spot where Ziegler scored from just moments ago. And you can bet that he and the Green Dragons are hoping he can do it again.
I'm going to loft another ball into the 6.
Sure.
There is a 6 out there, folks. Trust us.
This is a floater. This one is not as deep, but it goes deep. And here's a shot from way back, and it's wide to the left.
Mike Mathias shot wide.
Well, Keith Shilcock-Elliott is going to come back in, and
Shilcock-Elliott.
That's good news for Radnor, of course, but you know, the danger is, will they just keep trying to loft it forward to Shilcock-Elliott and hope that he does something wonderful? You know, you still want to play it as a team game if you can. Once again, Ted Grimm. I'm sorry. Yep.
There's somebody that's 4 inches shorter than the person next to him, and they're winning the ball. They're winning everything at this point.
Yep.
They have room, and the field feels downhill to them right now.
Hits in for Radnor. Ahead to Panitas. One times it to the near side. Grimm. Sargent on Grimm. Sargent cuts it back and then takes it back to the line, gets a deflection and a throw in.
If Radnor would just play the way they're facing, not trying to flick balls.
Now there's a ball played ahead for Shilcock-Elliott, but he doesn't have position. Played wide by Crone. Coming up to challenge was Nogales, but Lewisburg gets it out wide. Permiashkin on the far side. Lewisburg still with control, and Dambley knocks it on out for Radnor. It's going to be a throw in for the Green Dragons.
Front runners have to do a little better job of keeping Lewisburg in front of them. Again, twice Nogales has had, has run by people instead of letting the person, you don't have to tackle everybody. Sometimes it's okay that the person has the ball. It's where they have it. If somebody's way wide on the touchline, 50 yards from goal, hey, don't run at them. And if you don't think you're going to get it on a 50-50 ball, well, get them and contain.
Here's Ziegler. Ziegler unloading from distance, well wide. Goal kick.
We'll take that. See, that's much better. Defense, there wasn't any options that time except to go ahead and shoot. That's good for Radnor right there. That was well done. We got some hands on hips with Radnor in the back too, because they're the players that have been working the hardest. But really, they've made it so they've had to work harder than they should have in the back. They're the ones that should have their hands on their hips.
The offense is not taking any of the load off the defense in this half. And again, Radnor aimless. And we've been tough on the Radnor defense. And again, remember, Radnor's still in front in this when you wouldn't maybe necessarily believe that from the commentary. But
the commentary is talking about why there's difficulties. It's not...
Here's Nogales now with a little room on the left side. Played ahead to Shilcock-Elliott, but he waited for that one. And again, Crone running right around him. But now here's Panitas. Panitas stumbling, but retains possession. Has Sargent. Sargent plays it back into space. Checchio ahead to Shilcock-Elliott. Can he touch it? No. Well, that was well conceived that time. Radnor just missed the last connection, but now here's Hood. Sargent runs in behind the defender, so Hood lays it out to Matthew. Matthew up the line and wide.
That's okay. That was the right ball. That was a physical mistake, not a mental mistake. No problem. Ball's dropping.
Matthew in with the touch for Radnor, and still he has it. He's going to try to touch it back. Stays with it. Got stretched out. Poked it loose, but now Luskin up the line and out. right in front of the Lewisburg bench.
The best we've played all game has to be these 16 minutes.
Hood turns it right into Ziegler. Ziegler to Grimm. Grimm gets it ahead Matthias. This is a much
Everybody is open.
This is a much different Lewisburg team in the second half.
Yeah. Well, we talked earlier about we hadn't seen how these teams are going to play yet. Now you see where both teams are today. One struggling to hang on and to finish this off. You know, they got 3 goals early, deserved, great goals. Struggling to finish this off on a day when you're not at your best, and you see the other team now coming into the form that got them 23-0-1 in the first place.
That's exactly right.
I like Radnor's situation better. I'd rather be up 1 than down, right?
Certainly. Sargent turns it inside. Hood has room inside and finally gets it in there to Checchio. Checchio immediately challenged, so he quickly one-times it to Nogales. Nogales had to retain position, and he did. Permiashkin plays it back, and the Green Dragons control. They're going to try the right side. Dambley got a touch on it. Now Checchio. Checchio to Hood. Hood skates around a challenge, and now has Matthew. Back to Hood. Hitson. Oh boy, Hitson, a bad giveaway there, but both the forwards for Lewisburg were turning back up the field, and now Shilcock Elliott. A little heel play to Sargent, back to Shilcock Elliott. He's going to one-time it inside, but too many white shirts right there. The Radnor Raiders are going to get a throw in now.
There you go. Pass the way you're facing. Pass the way you're facing.
Justin Matthew with the throw for Radnor. Panitas did not get it. It was headed out with authority there. Hitson is going to come hustling forward to keep it alive for the Radnor Raiders. Pulls it back, and now he has a chance to serve this ball inside. Shilcock Elliott not there, but Nogales was deep, and then Nogales had trouble with the first touch. The young sophomore who's had some brilliant moments for this Radnor Raider team and had some brilliant moments in the first half, has struggled a bit here in the second. And now we see Jeremy Hollum returning for Lewisburg. Of course, Nogales' struggle's no different than the rest of the team.
I think Hood has been very good, very consistent. Obviously, Shilcock Elliott's had a good evening, hasn't touched the ball much. If you think about it, I don't know that Radnor's been in the box with possession of the ball, except real wide, more than twice in this half. And that tells you something, and it all starts in the back to the midfield and forward. Let's see what we get here.
Nogales working in traffic, and that's some of the magic that he has on his feet. Panitas stayed with it. Shilcock Elliott heeled it back to Panitas, and he had Sargent wide across square. And ball deflected out off Nogales on the far side.
There are days that you never have your touch, and then you have to find another reason to be able to stay on the field. And one of those is the commitment to play defense, to get behind the ball. And sometimes that's just hard work. The creative part isn't there all the time, because you want it to be, and because it's a big game doesn't mean it's there. And right now we got about maybe 7 Radnor players that aren't playing their best game, but they can finish this thing off if they just concentrate on the task.
Sure.
And they can finish this off, and it'll be a great moment.
Radnor's gotten a throw in forward. Shilcock Elliott is going to try to get down to the corner, but Crone has been all over his back tonight, and they're going to call this a goal kick. Shilcock Elliott claiming he never touched it, but
it's been actually it's calmed down here a little bit in the last 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you put a lot of energy out. Lewisburg put a lot of energy out, and really the goal they got, maybe they shouldn't have got 2, but they're sitting on it. Radnor has not allowed, as you said earlier, many point-blank shots for somebody who's looking right at Radnor. The one in the first half that Gallagher made the save on was probably their best close-in opportunity.
Right. I mean, Lewisburg obviously got a floater there. That's a 1 in 50 job maybe.
Yep.
It counts, of course, but Radnor all of a sudden over the last few moments has seemed to catch their breath a little bit here and say, well, you know what? Now, let's not go to the corner flag just yet here. We got 11 minutes left, but Sargent is down there. And this one knocked out, and it's going to throw in for Radnor.
but I like where it is there. But I like square balls in the back third.
When Checchio tried from the corner of the 18, he was well off the mark.
A little ambitious.
I think perhaps,
For ambition.
but you know what? Radnor's probably feeling like, gee whiz, we haven't had a shot for a while either. Maybe we ought to just try that.
You can see Lewisburg's a little neater with the ball.
Ball out off Radnor. Ted Grimm. Grimm, a senior. Well, you can understand why he's playing his heart out. And we should certainly take an opportunity to mention that. Unfortunately, at the stage of the competition we're in, this will be the last game for one set of seniors on one of these two teams, and it will be a season to remember for both teams, no doubt about that. But which team will have the fondest memories of this one? We'll have to wait and see.
Nice play by Chris Danley.
Dambly still working up the field, cuts it inside Nogales. Nogales back out to Dambly. Dambly is going to try to get in square. Nobody coming forward for Radnor to help in behind. The Radnor midfielders are just out of gas right now. They've been under a lot of pressure throughout this half. Dambly tried to take it to the corner flag and sawed away some time, and again, maybe a little bit early for that strategy. The other thing that could work for Radnor, though, is they do that a couple of times. They'll sort of lull Lewisburg into a sense of confidence. They did that actually earlier to one of the teams they were playing. They took it to the corner 2 or 3 times. The other team thought, well, that's what they're going to do for the rest of the match, and then they just took it to goal and scored. So
you get to catch your breath here a little bit here too.
Yeah.
Again, there's hands on hips.
Checchio looking for some movement. Panitas gets around, and that's what Panitas does best. He cuts it loose in the middle, but he runs it, works at such breakneck pace all the time.
Yeah, sometimes his speed and quickness is ahead of his technical speed and quickness. What I mean is he runs faster than his ball skills allow him to run. But it's always a positive go to goal, and every once in a while he just do some very magical things with the ball.
Radnor with a throw in over the head of Chris Sargent.
Too many Radnor players standing right now.
There's a ball popped across, and let's see, Checchio plays that wide. Dambly's going to get it ahead, but again, the white shirts coming forward most of the second half. That's been the story. Here's Matt Hitson, who's going to try to change that story just a little bit. Hitson's going all by himself. Permiashkin hustling back to turn him, and now Hitson just lays inside to Hood. Hood drops back to Matthew. Matthew head to Hood, but Hood was challenged. Did well to get it out wide to Sargent. Sargent then just turned it right into the defender. But Hood comes in to help out, and this one knocked aside by Crone.
Hood's had a very, very good game.
Hood is one of the returning players for Radnor next year. Radnor heavily senior laden, as you know if you've been following the Raiders. Keith Shilcock-Elliott takes it down up high, and then he and Sargent just running into each other practically. Sargent tries to knife through a couple of players. He lost his footing, and Lewisburg with a chance to move it forward now with the throw in. 7 minutes left in this one. Radnor up on top 3-2.
There we go. See, that's good. You're not letting him turn there. You're not giving him the room that you ought to give him.
Hollum with a little after the fact elbow there. This ball down the line and out. It's going to be a throw in for Radnor. Matthew drops it into Hood, who had a little space ahead to Panitas. Panitas cuts it inside. He's on the move. Takes it out wide. Now there you go. Quick release. Nogales with a chance to pick this one up on the dead run. Permiashkin hustling after Nogales. Nogales once again heading to the corner. Permiashkin pulls it away. But now Radnor has them working deep. And look at Nogales fighting for this ball. Permiashkin stayed after it. Panitas got a foot on it. Couldn't hang on. Well, the result there was Radnor knocked off about 45 seconds on that trip.
And the defense got a chance to see, the strikers have to work back goal side now. There's no one on the field now that shouldn't be goal side of their man. And I'm looking at two front runners, not goal side of their man.
Long outlet from Hitson out of the center of the Radnor defense, picked up by Lewisburg. Matthew stepping forward to take this one, but then he pushed it too far ahead. Hood! A rare mistouch there, or miscue. He just stepped over that one. Ball headed wide. Crone. Well, we're going to have to see what happens. I mean, Lewisburg has had all the pressure forward for the most part, and they have yet to really commit all their guys forward. They're going to have to do that soon. Here's a long ball into the box. Tom Gallagher way out at the edge of the 18. Well, what's going to happen when they commit perhaps one of those three defenders in the back forward, or maybe both of them, leaving it one-on-one with Shilcock Elliott? We'll have to wait and see. Shilcock Elliott nods it well out to the right. Nogales is going to give chase, and Nogales got a touch on it, may be able to recover this one.
That's great stuff. That is great work right there. That is excellent work, and there's a couple of people watching him do this instead of stepping over toward their man and picking up a mistake.
Sargent tried to touch inside, probably should have touched it the first time. Hollum, Checchio with a touch, but the Green Dragons retain possession. Hitson got a one-timer on it and sent it out over the far touchline.
The game's settled down here a little bit. This is not wide open on the throw-in, wide open on the throw-in.
Ball sent inside to Hollum. Hollum's going to try to turn. Here comes Bissett. Hollum is going to launch, but it was broken down by Hood. And now a high floater sent well wide of the goal. And let's see here. This one is out. I believe it's a goal kick for Radnor. We see Jay on into the match for the Raiders, replacing Rodrigo Nogales, I think. Nogales, who's probably just a little leg weary right now.
He must be gassed because he's working as hard as anybody on the field here in the last 10 minutes. He's somebody who really understood the gravity of the situation. Got Chester Matthews cramping up out here. Don't like this goal kick down the middle, straight down the middle of the field. I'd rather see it to the touchline.
Chris Sargent had trouble with that one. Here's on just into the match. Fresh legs for Radnor. Pokes it inside. Hood. Ball played back to Bissett. He's just going to float this one up high. Hope that Shilcock Elliott can settle in under it. He does. He takes it high off his chest. Now plays it up the field. And here's a chance for on perhaps, but Donegan well out of the net plays that one forward. Patrick Donegan has been a spectator in this one in the second half in the net for Lewisburg. And I'm sure no matter what the result here, the Lewisburg fans are going to come out of here saying, boy, we really took it to them in the second half.
There's no question.
No question.
They have.
Here's on down the far sideline, waits for the bouncing ball. No help coming in behind him. So he just sends this one into the white shirts. We see
again, lots of room.
Ziegler and Matthew. Matthew trying to just hang into possession. Ziegler tracks it down now. Nice little heel move, Grimm. But there's Sargent, and Hitson comes out of there, sends it long forward, and that's just going to bring Donegan well out of the net. Nobody up there for Radnor. Well, here we go.
Everybody can't just drop.
Lewisburg is now committed to playing this ball forward. They need to get the equalizer in the next 2 minutes. And here's Chris Dambley with that chance against that stretched out back side. Good work over there by Crone to keep it away from Dambley.
Crone has really had a good game.
Yep.
Good player.
Shilcock Elliott touches it away. Here's Shilcock Elliott. He's
he can
loose.
Score from there.
Yeah, Donegan was out of the net, but he's just going to take it down to the flag.
If that defender isn't close to him, I guarantee you he shoots that ball. I'm serious. And you couldn't see this, folks, but that keeper was on the top of the 18.
Nogales back in for on. Well, they're going to salt away a few seconds on this substitution. And here we go. We're going to take it down to the corner flag, play a little soccer golf, as they say.
Now's the time.
Well,
that's too easy.
That was a little too easy for Grimm, but Checchio in the midfield.
And we need to head that ball right there. We needed to head that ball.
Here's Ziegler, who's going to try to left side. Matthew right on him, poked away. It's a throw in for Lewisburg. Quickly, they put it down. Hollum sends it long across, a high floater. Over Crone, Ziegler there. Checchio puts it into Ziegler. Handball, I believe. It was called. Yes.
The reason you take that ball down in the corner is that you don't need a fourth goal here unless you're going to give up one. And the idea is to get down in the corner and not let the goalkeeper have it, because the goalkeeper is the one player on the field that can pick up the ball, kick it 60 yards. You foul somebody, they kick it in the box, and on 2 touches they can score on your goal.
Shilcock Elliott puts this one out wide for Nogales, and he has a little room and time to take some time off the clock. He's going to lay it back to Dambly. Dambly touches it back inside. Nogales is not going to give chase.
He's offside.
Oh, he was. Okay.
Yeah, I hate to see that.
Well, 30 seconds left for the Green Dragons if they want to pull this one back. And if Surgeon gets a touch on this, he does. It's going to be awfully difficult now for the District 4 champions. Surgeon hustling, cut down by Panitas. That's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Surgeon might go in, but here's Donegan. 11 seconds left.
He didn't punt it. He didn't punt it.
He outlet with a throw, and that might be about all. Bissett pounds it up the field. Ladies and gentlemen, the Radnor Raiders have survived. Have survived a high-pressure second half and have advanced to the state final for only the second time in school history. The last time they did it, head coach Kyle Shilcock Elliott was 3 months old. And that was probably a little bit more exciting than the Radnor fans and team wanted it to be.
Oh boy, I tell you, when you win and you don't play your best, it's you know, that's something the coaches will have a few days to work on. Somehow Gallagher got hurt in the celebration here. Hopefully it's just a for fun thing here. But he just got mugged. They were truly tested in the second half. I thought the last 15 to 20 minutes they actually did calm down a bit. But I can see where Lewisburg was a 23-0-1 team though.
Yep.
They showed their quality in the second half, and yet even the goal they got wasn't a great one.
That's for sure. Well,
they let Radnor have the first 15 minutes, and that was it.
Let's talk about that real quickly as these teams gather in the center of the field and shake hands. And this was a very cleanly played game. It was a very well refereed game, we must say. Radnor opened to scoring in the 6th minute. Keith Shilcock Elliott sent loose on a long ball. The goalkeeper, Pat Donegan, came out to challenge. Shilcock Elliott just nodded it up over the top and into the goal off the inside of the left post. 4 minutes later, Rodrigo Nogales put one in on the near post as I think it was Lenny Checchio who took it down deep, centered the ball across. Jahan nudged it on further, and Nogales came in and tucked it in the near side to put Radnor up on top, 2-0 after 10 minutes. Well, Lewisburg, a 23-0-1 team, got a goal back just 2 minutes later. That was Jeff Riegel, who down at the other end ripped the ball from inside the 18. Tom Gallagher went up and it skimmed off his hands, went into the net. But Radnor regained their 2-goal lead 16 minutes later on really one of the prettiest goals you're going to see in a long time. Keith Shilcock Elliott worked hard, took it down deep to the goal line, and then played it hard back to the 18 on the ground. Hood ran onto it and just ripped it into the upper 90. No chance for goalkeeper Patrick Donegan on that one, and that was how we took it to the half, 3-1. There was only one goal in the second half. It belonged to the Green Dragons of Lewisburg, as they absolutely came out on a mission in the second half. They knew their backs were against the wall, and as my colleague Sam Holt said, they really did show us the quality of team they were. They scored on a high floater on a restart from probably a good solid 35, 40 yards out. Floated over Tom Gallagher's head inside the back post. But after that, they weren't really able to generate any good shots on goal, despite the fact that Radnor's defense was having problems at times clearing the ball cleanly. And as Sam did say, sometimes, you know, you're not going to play your best game, and how wonderful is it to win in a state semifinal when that's the case?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that we didn't play our best game. I would say 7 or 8 of our teams didn't play at the level that we've seen them play. You know, Shilcock Elliott obviously was brilliant in the beginning of the game, but didn't have many touches, you know, the rest of the game, to be honest. You know, I think Hood was consistently good. I think other players were good in one facet of the game and then not good in another. I think tactically we weren't very good in our own half of the field. We weren't clean with our touches, but that happens. But then we weren't clean with our decision making either. And you know, sometimes we're trying to do something tricky or something that you do on the, you know, playing keep away in the beginning of practice, but that you wouldn't do in a game, especially in certain parts of the field. Those are things Kyle will know about. he'll look at this, he'll look at this tape. He'll give him a day off to recover from this. I'm sure they'll go bowling or something, and then they'll come back out and train hard Thursday, and take it easy Friday, and then probably play here in the rain Saturday, as the forecast looks, but not supposed to be particularly cold.
Well,
if Fleetwood would happen to win today, which my gut tells me they're going to win, you will see Radnor play Fleetwood for the 4th time in state play. And the only time that Radnor has been to a state championship was against Fleetwood in 1980, when there was no classifications, AAA, AA, single A. It was everybody together, and we lost 2-1. And I think it would be great if we played Fleetwood again. But I'll take South Park. I'll take the cartoon, or I'll take the history. But either way, we're in the final, and you know what? Sometimes the result is all that matters. The coach in me tonight was interested in how we handled the back half, and was very impressed with how we handled the front half when we got numbers forward, especially in the beginning of the game.
Well, we hope you'll come right back here to Hershey Park Arena, because we're going to be here on Saturday at 1 o'clock for the state championship match, in Radnor with a chance to write themselves into the record books. Head coach Kyle Shucock-Elliott, assistant coach Joe Carullo, just a wonderful job with the Radnor Raiders this year, especially at the tail end of the season when they got things going. They did not have a particularly good regular season this year. They played in a tough Central League, and here we go. We thank you for joining us here on ESVN, and signing off from Hershey Park on behalf of my cameraman Jim Eagle, my colleague Sam Holt, this is Jeff Elliott. Thanking you for joining us. A beautiful evening for soccer, and if you're a Radnor Raider soccer fan, you gotta love the result. The final tonight, Radnor 3, Lewisburg 2, the state championship up ahead on Saturday. So long, folks. We'll see you around the pitch.